Is Squad Busters pay to win is one of the most raised questions by you. In this video we're gonna talk about the thematic, so we're gonna cover all the pay to win aspects nowadays, compare them to the past, and I will give you my own impression and why I think that pay to win is worse than it was before. And with that said, thank you everybody for being here again, really appreciate it. If someone else is new here, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for free to my channel to not miss any news about Squad Busters in the future. Squad Busters in general is, in my opinion, the most friendly free-to-play game from Supercell. Why do I think so? Well, because we got endless things to grind in this game and upgrade our units, and the difference from someone spending money to someone not spending money is not too big. At least it was like that in the past. In the past we got mega units, well, they got removed. In the past we got reroll tokens as well as different keys, which got a slight impact in the game. And well, they got removed. So these two aspects in general got removed from the game, and we have now even matches, but only until the fact when they have introduced ultimates. Yes, we have had already ultra units before, and the change between 3-star to 4-star is having quite a heavy impact, especially for those units like the Archer Queen and the Barbarian King, just to give you an example, where the difference between 3 and 4-star is quite heavy. But with the latest edition of ultimate units, at least 13 of the 39 units, it got even worse, and I think it will become worse in the future. If we check out the Barbarian right here, we can see as a baby it's a melee fighter with good damage. On 2-star it becomes elite after bashing lots of bodies, while at 3-star it goes elite instantly when with another Barbarian. So we can see those differences are not too crazy, and anyway the stats remain the same. On 4-star the unit gets enraged after busting a foe, and getting enraged is already a heavier impact than the ones before, but still was acceptable because that single thing is not deciding a fight at the end of the day. And well, with the latest edition of a 5-star unit, joins the squad with a baby elite Barbarian. And that means a free unit on top, which is not even having a bad impact on the chest prices. And that unit stays. It is not getting fused up. That means if you get a fused Barbarian, you have 3 of the babies if I'm not mistaken. But if you would have only one, that's already crazy, since it's an additional unit just for free on top. You can see where that leads to. More Barbarians mean more baby units, and with that a much bigger squad. And if a baby Barbarian dies, I guess you're not losing any champs. The next unit on the list is for sure the Goblin. And well, what should I say? Yeah, the Goblin is a really good supplier in terms of coins. And until 4-star it is pretty alright, since yes, we are getting some good amount of coins, and the difference in between 2-star and 4-star is 7 to 10 per unit. That's 3 coins more, and yeah, we can agree, well, this is having quite a good impact, but it is acceptable in my opinion. As a 3-star unit, the fusion one gives you 15 coins, so from 2 to 3-star, well, for fusing it, there is definitely a difference. But for me it gets hilarious with the 5-star ability, since that fusion coins are getting increased to 30, and that's straight 15 more coins. And since coins are really important in the early game, that is having a heavy impact. We saw that yesterday during the scrims, and I don't want to complain, but there I fight the first time someone with maxed units and was like, well, yep, that is definitely having a bad impact. And now we could argue about, hey, it's only 13 out of 39 units, but in the future all the units will become at a point ultimates, and then it gets even worse. But like this unit here having such an impact on the early game, I mean, if we start with a fusion, so getting 3 times the Goblin of the 3 first chests, we are starting with 1 fused unit and 45 coins in spare. And with the 5-star, we are getting even 15 further coins, which makes it to 60. And that is quite a big impact, considering that the chest prices are pretty cheap at the beginning. And there is a pretty similar thing with Crack. Yes, that one is dropping loot when you chop a tree. And until 4-star, well, we got there some further hearts, while in general there is no difference between 3 and 4-star, so that is pretty alright. With 5-star, trees drop tons of loot. That is having also a huge impact, especially in the early game where chest prices are low. You're getting further loot. Well, at the early game you don't really care about the gems, which will still add on top, but the coins are making the difference to have a fast start, outfarm the opponents, and then being ahead of them and having a pretty secured game. Coming to Colt, there it is pretty alright, I would say. Yes, on 5-star, the bullet storm charges when attacking squads, so everything else remains the same. But now consider that you got some of the other ultimate units in your squad and have a head start anyway, and then Colt comes on top where you charge your ultimate attack, your special attack, with attacking opponent squads. Well, this is a difference, especially for the PvP, and has quite a big impact. But for the rest of the game, everything is the same. So this is okay for me. This is not overpowered. This is acceptable. Next we're coming to the chicken, and I know not too many guys are playing the chicken, but a chicken in general is a good unit. And on 5-star you spawn even many more hatchlings. While I don't know how many more, at least we know with a 4-star these are 3 hatchlings getting spawned, and for sure spawns hatchlings much faster while using turbo. We can see that, and the 4 to the 3-star difference is pretty significant because the damage per second is 120. Those little hatchlings add further damage on top, which is not shown here in the stats, and that's why I think the chicken is a good unit. And with even getting more, that is having also a huge impact on the early game. If you choose chicken as a first unit, those further hatchlings will attack the monsters as well, and you will be able to farm monsters much faster than a guy with a 3-star chicken. But this is still a thing where I think, okay, this is not having any impact on PvP, just for the early loot. And unlike the goblin and the crack, you still have to work on the monsters to get your coins, and I still think this is an acceptable scenario here, and pretty alright. Well, as next we are coming to Bow, and since Bow is one of the lowest rated units out there, no one would care about the 5-star ability. Well, in my opinion, Bow is a really great unit, and it is still my second most picked unit out there. And on 5-star, it drops the mines more often and mines last longer. Well, against monsters, those mines with 4-star are doing anyway further damage, so that is already pretty good. But since he's causing tons of damage anyway with his shots, that impact is not too crazy. And the 5-star is also not too crazy, just the fact that you get more often the stun ready if you have to fight. And in especially those modifiers where we have to fight the middle, like the giant trees, super ice birds, I really like to play that Bow, because those trap mines giving you a spell or a stun for free if you place them properly, and maybe cover them with your squad, getting attacked, running away, opponent gets hit by those stun, and you can jump in back fighting the weak spots. So in general, for me, this is very nice, and the faster spawn rate is considerable for me. Well, as next we are coming to the rare units, and we got there first the medic. And the medic is a mysterious unit for me because it passively heals your team, and when you're fighting often and running around, this is really good. And the fact that on 5-star the passive heal gets much stronger and faster is buffing the PvP once more. Yes, against monsters that is not too crazy. Monsters are causing not too much damage beside the Infernal Dragon, we all know that, and we all lost some units against him. But for PvP this is an even good add-up on top. As next we got Dynamite, and even though we are getting here a spell and it is not that having a big impact like for the BK on 4-star, it is still another spell we are getting for free when getting that unit. The spell itself is pretty alright, not causing too much damage, but I think it bounces up your units as well, causing a little stun, and that is again having the heavier impact on PvP. So you can see where that leads to. Each unit at itself is pretty alright. We got some which are crazier, like the barbarian, and coming soon to the epics, but all added on top. Colt charging up his special ability more often, Dynamite with the further spell, the trap mines more often. You can see that if you have multiple of the ultimates, it's getting worse. And that is not the end, since now we're coming to the juicy units, and beside barbarian, the next ones are, in my opinion, having a higher impact on 5-star, and the Hawk Rider is giving you further attack speed when using turbo, and well, that is having straight an advantage which can be considered pay to win in my opinion, since we are kinda limited in the attack rate, and if you have the 5-star Hawk Rider and getting some further attack rate, yes, you're causing more damage. That's how blatant it is. And with these two epics, the Barbarian King, it gets even worse. We are getting the Iron Fist more often. That means another stun, which is great for PvP. And the similar thing counts for the archer queen, since we are getting more stuns as well. Attacks with exploding arrows more often, and the exploding arrow stuns the opponent for a short second there as well, or for some milliseconds. And all those things added up each other shows that the impact from 4 to 5 star is having a huge impact on PvP. And that's the thing where I think, oh, we are not in the correct direction looking onto the next units, which we might get there on 5 star. Well, this could lead that it's getting even more pay to win friendly, but on the other side, Supercell has to earn some money, and for me it is still acceptable, because 5-star units, you can reach them as a free-to-play player as well, and if you grind a lot, you will get them even faster. So just from the raw facts, if you consider pay to win being something giving you the ability, if you spend money, to win, and not pay to winners not being able to achieve that, that is the classical pay to win. Here, free to play achieve it, but it takes longer, and that's why I consider that free to play and pay to win is pretty alright at this game. But in long term, it will hopefully become better. But if we are getting 6-star units in the future at any point, or a red 1-star unit, which could be the next level, I don't know, that's how it is in other games after 5-star, it could get even worse. And well, we got one last unit here, which is pretty alright in the balance once again, since the skeletons move and attack faster when they are nearby in the 5-star, so there's like almost no difference between 4 to 5-star. So hopefully that video did give you an impression why I think, yes, at the moment there are some pay to win factors in the game, and those are even heavier than the keys and mega units in the past. Mega units did not happen in every game. Keys, yes, you could use them and they limited it down. That was quite acceptable, but here, if you have some ultimates, that can have a huge impact, especially in the early game with your loot, and then in the PvP game in the late game with all those additional stuns and the higher attack rate. And to close up that thematic, we got further things which we can purchase, and I hope that Supercell focuses on them. We got skins there, we got the multipliers, which are not having a too crazy directly pay to win factor, since you're getting just more units and you still have to farm the game. So I consider the chest multipliers being a good thing. We got emotes which we can purchase there for tickets, and for sure we got the hammers. So all the decorations and skins which are not adding any advantage are really free to play friendly in my opinion, and I hope that they're earning enough money with that so that we keep this game being free to play friendly. So what are your thoughts on those units and the latest changes? I think we are still a very free to play friendly game, but I think the direction we are leading to is not too good. So thank you guys for watching, and see you again pretty soon.